Who let the lemon head?
This is it, Jennifer. You're big breaking key.
Who let the lemon head into the room? You are a waste of life, and you should give up.
Thunder Myth, and this is Pam.
Damn, it's Michael. Help me. I need help right now.
I enjoy having breakfast in bed. I like waking up to the smell of bacon. Sue me. And since I don't have a butler, I have to do it myself.
See, that's the type of... I'm gonna kick your ass.
You know, somebody needs to really kick my ass for that intro. Oh my god, that was so rough. But anyway, guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is the Austinator, and welcome back to another DC animated movie review. Tonight, we are talking Justice League Throne of Atlantis. And judging by the title, you probably already know what it's about. So, you know what? Just shoosh. All right. Anyway, I'm joined by the usual suspects tonight. We got a full house tonight. We got Dylan, a.k.a. Anime Talk. He likes anime. Say hello, Dylan.
What's up?
We got Star Wars Network. He's on a network of Star Wars. Say hello, Ninjoid.
Hello there.
No, his
All
name's
right.
Network.
Okay. All right. Well, see what we're not going to do on this channel is we will not acknowledge Star Wars in any right. There's only a few written rules on this channel, Ninjoid, okay? I'm going to tell you. 1, no Star Wars. 2, we talk positive things about Frozen. And number 3, that's it. Now, Mr. Ninjoid, sir.
Let it go. Let it go.
And all right, you know what? Rule number 3. Only I can sing. I can only sing. All right. See, all right. Do I have to really jello somebody or really early on in the stream? Like, come on, guys.
Frozen 2 sucks. You know what?
Frozen 2 is better than Frozen 1, just saying.
It's equally good, man. I'm telling you.
The snow glows white on the mountain tonight. Not a footprint.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
Yo!
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
A kingdom of isolation.
All right, Ninjoid. Am I gonna have to jello you, sir?
The wind is howling like this.
Damn it!
Orbit
Hold on.
side.
Judges in session. What is the problem here?
You put my stuff in Jello again.
See, this is what's gonna happen. All right,
We're gonna
we're
get
3 minutes
copyrighted
in.
if he continues.
Yeah, please stop so I don't get copyrighted, please. Thank you. Now, Ninjoid, do you now understand the rules?
He is in charge, and when he's in charge, he will follow a schedule. Those who do not follow the schedule will be punished.
Good soldiers follow orders.
All right, see, once again, it's a Star Wars reference. See, sir, what we're not going to have here is a Star Wars environment. We are talking about DC only tonight. No Star Wars is allowed on this channel ever.
Good.
Hooray!
All right. Bloopers.
And then lastly, we
bloopers.
got Zach. So, hello, Zach.
What's up?
Sorry, I was going to
sick
give Zach something like a lot more special than that, but like
Yeah.
at this point, we're 4 minutes in, and this has just gone into a disaster pile.
Sick as fuck the last couple weeks, so I'm back.
Damn. All right, see, that's a good thing, Zach. Good thing. Thank God you've recovered, so you can talk about these movies with us.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna tell everybody where they can, and then everybody can tell them where they can find themselves at. We'll start with Anime Talk. Where can they find you?
Okay, you guys can find me on my brand new channel called, of course, Anime Talk, and what it's going to be about is I'm just going to gather a bunch of my friends and talk anime. My first podcast goes live on Thursday the 24th. That's in 2 weeks. Hopefully you guys like anime. Hopefully you guys come check us out, subscribe, and enjoy the show. I'm also on Ninjoid's channel, Austin's channel, Zach's channel. Check us all out. Thanks for having me on, man.
No problem. Next up, we have Star Wars Network. Where can they find you at?
You guys can personally find me on my own YouTube channel. That is Star Wars Network, where there's going to be quite a few videos planned, actually, that are going to be coming out within this week instead of last week. I do have Andor reviews planned to schedule to come out. I will also be doing some reviews of fellow action figures / Lego sets and more. I will be doing a part 2 of a live build, as well as Galactic Chat is every single Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So guys, go check that out. Our first episode was a huge success for the channel and really boosted up our viewership. So guys, go check out that beautiful podcast, and we're going to keep on improving every single episode. So thank you, Austin, for having me on.
No problem. It's always a pleasure. And then we got Zach. Where can they find you at?
Y'all can find me on my channel, Zach Axiola, where we will be currently, over the next couple of months, be in the middle of a Scream review series. We actually just recently today reviewed the first installment of the franchise. Dylan's first time watching, Austin's first time in a while, so we all had a good time talking about it. So you can find me on there, which I will be live. We will be live in 2 weeks for the review of the next film, Scream 2, as part of the review series, all leading up to the release of Scream 6 in March. So look forward to that.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, before we begin with the actual review, there's 2 people on this panel that have yet to give their own reviews on 2 movies. And you know what? To alleviate everybody's fears, so that way they think, oh, Austin, they haven't caught up. Well, guess what? I know they caught up. So you know what? They're going to do their own brief reviews right now. And so we're going to start with Zach. He wasn't here for the past 2 reviews. And he is going to be talking about his general review over talking about Justice League War, which will basically be a quick version of our usual reviews, which he'll basically just give his general thoughts, his positives, negatives, and final grade. So Zach, give us your thoughts on Justice League War.
Justice League War. I think I liked it better than Justice League Flashpoint. My positives are the animation, how well they're able to tell the Justice League origin story. I like the action. Darkseid was an intimidating threat. Something I was mixed on was the relationship between Superman and Wonder Woman, but we'll probably be able to delve into that more as we get into more of these movies. And my negative is, once again, the runtime. I feel like these movies could just be a tad bit longer. That'll probably be a constant negative throughout this whole series. But other than that, I really enjoyed Justice League War. It was awesome.
Final grade?
I'd give it an A. Like, all these ones so far, I guess, are all A movies. I really enjoyed them.
All right. Pretty good. Tim's on our left. Which left? We don't know. Is it his left or is it my left? We'll never know. This is scary, guys. Very scary.
What's up, Tim?
What's up,
I'm also
Tim?
on Tim's channel. You guys should check out our buddy Tim.
Next up, Star Wars Network down here wasn't here for the Son of Batman review, so you know what? He's going to give his own brief review of Son of Batman right now.
Alrighty. First off, with Batman and Son of Batman. Sorry, my bad. I thought this was still a really good Batman movie. I love Damian Wayne as a character, and this was great setup for the future with Damian Wayne. I also liked, Slade Wilson in the movie, Deathstroke. I liked everything with the League of Shadows. I liked Batman's personal arc in this. And I liked some of the other cameo appearances, like Killer Croc appeared. Batman fought Killer Croc a little bit. And honestly, I thought it was a very fun, enjoyable movie. My negatives, more so, it's just the runtime. I feel like it could be actually a little bit longer. And my final grade would be an 8.5.
And what would that translate to?
8.5 would be probably a B plus.
Okay,
Yep.
so we got a B plus. Okay, very nice, very nice. Zach wasn't here for the Son of Batman review, and guess what? Zach's gonna give his brief thoughts on Son of Batman right now.
Against my will. I'm just kidding. Son of Batman, probably my least favorite of the four, but if this is the least of the ones we've seen so far, still doing pretty damn good. I love Damian Wayne in this. He's probably possibly my favorite of these characters in this animated DC universe outside of Batman. And Talia al Ghul. That's all I'm gonna say. And once again, the action is great. The runtime could be longer, as again a negative, but other than that, a real nice way to establish the relationship between Bruce Wayne and Damian. So it's another A movie for me.
Wow.
A solid A.
Okay. All right. Wow, we got B's and A's all over the place today. Holy hell.
Yep,
All right.
like I said, I love this DC universe. It's damn good.
It is damn good. Now, we must talk about Justice League Throne of Atlantis, the movie that you all came to see. Oh, you know, you guys, listen, they got the reviews out of the way. All right, we're good. We're dandy. It's fine. Now it's time to talk about Justice League Throne of Atlantis. All right, you want to hear the premise of this movie? All right, listen. A war is brewing between Atlantis and the humans. All right. Now, there's Orm and Black Manta in this movie. They're basically like, we want to wage war with the surface. Then the Queen's like, no, we can't wage war with the surface. And then they're like, yes, we should wage war with the surface. And then she's like, no. And then the Justice League are like, oh my God, what the hell's going on? And then all of a sudden, then there's this guy named Arthur Curry, who you may know as Aquaman. They're like, oh, who's this guy? Oh my God. Then the chaos. There it is. That's your premise of the movie. All right, there we go. Sorry, I'm overdoing it tonight because I'm really tired and I'm just trying to overdo it for the entertainment value. All right, Bone, what's up? How's it going? Dylan, give us your overall thoughts on Throne of Atlantis.
Okay, so my overall thoughts on Throne of Atlantis, while yes, I really liked the story that they went for Aquaman. Of course, it's the Aquaman origin story. You see one Aquaman origin story, you've seen them all. I thought they did the Aquaman story pretty well. I felt like it was taken away from mostly by a lot of the DC, which we'll talk about a bit more when we get into negatives, but yeah, I felt like the other DC characters kind of took away from the story, which really kind of sucks because I wanted to pay more attention to his story than what was actually given. But otherwise, it was a pretty good movie. It was definitely not my favorite movie, and out of the four movies that we've seen so far, this is definitely the weakest. But I enjoyed it so far. That's my overall thoughts.
And Bone comes with Aqua Person. Yes. It is indeed an Aqua Person. Ninjoid, are you back yet? All right, he's not back yet. Zach, give us your overall thoughts on Throne of Atlantis.
Probably my second favorite of the four we've seen so far. I loved the dynamic between Aquaman and Mera. Much better in this universe for
That's for sure.
reasons. And this is probably the best paced movie out of the four, at least so far. Just like 72 minutes? It actually felt spaced out just as well as the Jason Momoa movie was, if I'm honest. And I like the plot. It's actually probably the best told version of the Aquaman story that I have seen. But then again, I haven't seen much of the DC animated content, so not much else to say, but you know what? Actually, something I'm mixed on him. Are we going into spoilers, or are we saving that for later?
Yes, we are going into spoilers.
The biggest thing I'm mixed on is the death of Queen Atlanta. Now, maybe this is actually how it went down in the comics, but I feel like it's not just the fact that Arthur didn't get to have a scene with his mother, but it's just isn't she actually like around a lot longer? Hell, in the Jason Momoa movie, she's still alive. So I don't get this narrative choice. So that's something I'm mixed on. And not to be the dead pony, but the runtime is my usual negative for these movies. But other than that, another solid badass flick.
Damn, Zach went into both his positives and his negatives. Oh my god.
Right. Oh, my bad.
No, it's all right.
It's supposed to be overall thoughts, but go ahead, man.
Yeah, no, that don't unleash everything you have to say, man. This is a platform where hey.
Good. Now we have Mermaid Man. That's what he looks like when Aquaman gets old.
I won't watch it.
Dylan?
Yeah, me too, bro.
Dylan?
Me too.
I had to. I had to, brother. I had to.
One more time, Dylan, and I swear to God, I'll shoot Walt Disney.
Mermaid Man and Barker Boy.
Nindroid, your overall thoughts?
I thought this was a pretty solid movie. This is my least favorite of the four.
Yeah, is that your overall thoughts?
Yes.
All right, well then it's my turn. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Nindroid. I think this movie's pretty good. It's nothing spectacular. Like Dylan said, once you see the Aquaman origin story, and really when you see one origin story, you've seen it all. And this movie, kind of like with Justice League War, they're kind of on par with me, but I kind of liked Justice League War a lot more because I felt it was a lot more fun, whereas this one, it was good, but it definitely has its issues. So that's my general thoughts on Throne of Atlantis. And you know what? We're going to... Nindroid, since you did a pretty solid job with your overall thoughts, I figured it's probably best if you start with your positives.
Okay.
All right, Ebert.
Okay, so let's start off with the Aquaman origin story. I think they actually dealt with Aquaman's like origins very well in the movie, like him establishing his character very well. I do like King Orm as the antagonist. I do like the other Justice League members and their interaction still from Justice League War. Like we get to see more Green Lantern and Batman. We get to see like Superman, Wonder Woman growing more in their relationship and all that. I like all that stuff because one of the various mistakes of the DCEU was that the characters really never interacted with each other and never felt like friends a whole lot. And I feel like they're friends in this, you know. I do have a lot of mixed opinions though of it. I felt like the runtime was solid, but man, I gotta
get into it. Talk about when we get to our negatives, Nindroid.
Yeah.
Save it for your negatives.
Okay. I'm trying my best. All right.
Nindroid, you've been on 2 of these reviews already.
I'm trying my best, buddy. There's really nothing else. It's a solid movie.
Damn, bro. Like, damn. All right. Zach, I give your quick positives.
I like the voice acting, the animation, the Orm as a villain, even though it leads to the main thing I'm mixed on, and big Clone Wars fan here, Matt Lanter, the voice of Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars, voices Arthur Curry in this, so that automatically bumps it up a star, just that alone.
All right, well, fair enough. All All right, first things first, when I give my positives, just as a little joke, I like how everybody else is doing normal things, whereas Batman's introduction in the movie is literally just him being Batman in a bat plane, chasing down criminals, and then
Okay.
Green Lantern's like, Batman, we need your help, and then Batman's like, go away, and then Green Lantern's like, no, we need your help, and then Batman's like, with what? Is it the missile thing? And then he's like, oh shit, how'd you know that? That Batman's like, go away. And then Green Lantern arrests them, and then Batman's like, why'd you do that? He's like, I do it in a very specific way. And then Batman's like, fine, I'll help, go away. I kind of like that. But to be real though, I did like the Aquaman side of things. I think that as far as telling the Aquaman origin story, they did it justice for the most part. I feel like we could have spent a little bit more time developing him rather than spending time on some of the characters, because to be quite honest with you, there are plot points which I'll get into my negatives that don't really go anywhere. I Orm was good. I like Sam Witwer in the role. I think he did a great job as King Orm. His motivation makes sense. You know, his father died because of the surface world or volcano, but you know, he's like, no, it doesn't matter. Humankind is gonna ruin us. And then the Queen's like, no. Again, the action looks great. Of course, the animation is spot on. The Cyborg story arc with him kind of trying to continue to adapt to being, well, Cyborg. It's kind of like at the beginning where you see him as like he's in this dream sequence, like you see him like he's just normal, but then the Cyborg armor's like, no, it's time to wake up, and then Cyborg's like, no, please don't wake me up, and then he's like, nope, you're getting up. And he's like, fine. And then he has like this weird, and then he has this interesting relationship with Sarah, one of the scientists, which is interesting. And I do like the bromance between Cyborg and Shazam, where Shazam's like, dude, victory, yeah, you're my best friend. And Cyborg's like, Billy, please, we're on business. And then I do like the interactions between the characters again, specifically with Green Lantern and Batman, and you could Shazam and Cyborg, Green Lantern, and Flash again have some fun stuff. Trying to think what else. I mean, some of the flashbacks with Arthur as a kid I thought looked great, were pretty good, especially when you see as a kid he actually sees his mother, but then his dad convinces him not. And then I actually like his introduction too, where he's in a bar drunk and he's talking to a crab or a lobster. And then like he gets kicked out of the bar and literally destroys the bar for a lobster, which is nice. The way Orm gets defeated at the end is pretty good too, because they introduced this in the movie where Cyborg has this like recording technology which he uses earlier on to kind of figure out like who attacked him, because he went into the submarine, where the Mer people just like destroyed it because, hey, it's King Orm, and he's like, no, Atlantis is superior. And then of course I think King Orm killing the mom was fine. I do agree I would have liked a little bit more time with her, but I had no problem with King Orm killing her, since Aquaman's going to be the king of Atlantis, so you kind of have to find a reason for her not to be there. So it's like, all right, if you're not really going to add anything else to her character, then at least, you know, just kill her, I guess. What else? The way I think that's really about it. Also, the after credit scene was pretty cool with Lex Luthor starting to recruit for the Legion of Doom. I thought that was pretty cool, where King Orm's like, please unhand me, I'm the king of Atlantis. And then you have the guard like, yeah. And then Lex Luthor comes in, he's like, I'm Lex Luthor. I'm bald and wearing a suit, and I have a job for you. That's basically what happens in the after credits. I liked the music was good too. The action was great, like I said, specifically at the end. I like the relationship between Mera and Aquaman. However, again, this is going to be kind of in my negatives too, but I wish we had more time dedicated to it. Yeah, that's really all I have. I think I really talked about everything. Because really everything else is being saved for my negatives, to tell you the truth. All right. So, oh no, Dylan's got to go into his positives. So Dylan, go to your positives.
All right, so positives for this movie. First off, I'm just gonna say what everyone else says. I mean, I liked Aquaman's story. I found the jokes really funny. Batman. One of my favorite things. I don't know why, but Batman and Green Lantern's interactions are fantastic in this movie. Carrying over from the other Justice League movie, I like the interactions between the characters. I just and again, I'm trying to save it for negatives, but it really does take away from the Aquaman story. But I really enjoyed the Aquaman man story. I just wish we had more focus on it. That's all my positives.
Damn. Okay. There's not a lot of positive. Oh God. Okay. We
Only
got past
because
out.
you guys talked about every single positive that I have. I agree with every single positive here.
Oh God. All right. Negatives now. Oh dear. We're 26 minutes in and we're already at our negatives. Oh God. All right. Zach, give your brief negatives because you already talked about them.
The Like I said, the length is the only real kind of thing holding us back. I mean, I feel like there's so much more you could do with how you pace it out to explore Atlantis, explore the people, and give Orm more depth. He has a lot of depth. He is great in this, but just give more. That's pretty much it. Again, that's probably going to be a constant, if not probably my only negative for throughout most of these movies is the length being too short. But that's about it.
I mean, to argue that though, Zach, I think some of these movies do not need the extra time. I think to keep it from being bloated, I actually don't mind the hour and a half long time as long as it's, as long as it
Better
works
focused.
and focused, yeah. But in the case of this movie, though,
It's
this
not
is
that
an
well
example of
focused.
a movie that needed more time. I will agree with that.
Yeah, it needed more time. That's for sure.
Because you either needed more time or you needed to cut some of these like plot lines and like character arcs out because let's be real here, there was like a character plot point with Superman and Wonder Woman where Wonder Woman's like, well, I don't know who I am, and then Superman's like, here, let me show you. And then you could have had this like story arc where Wonder Woman's trying to figure out who she is. Should she be herself? Should she try to pretend? But then it just like they just drop it and then they just bring it up in like a line at the end of the movie. It's, to me, I felt like, damn, that was kind of anticlimactic. Like there was room there for like a character arc, and even Batman could have done like had an arc where like Batman's trying to be the leader of the team, and then Superman, everyone's like, dude, you're not the leader of this team. Like, well, who the hell are you? And like maybe Batman goes through an arc of him trying not to control everybody. But
And there could have also been an arc. Sorry to interrupt you, man, but there also could have been an arc for the Machine Man himself because I'm telling you, they tried to do an arc, and yeah, they really just like paid it off at the very last second with him getting the girl, but they could have like actually played with that a bit more.
yeah, like Cyborg, I feel as much as I think out of all the side plots, that was the only one that I really didn't have an issue with. I felt like, again, a lot of these plot lines could have been better developed rather than just, we're just going to pretend, we're just going to drop them towards the end type of thing.
Mhm.
And that kind of goes to my next negative is when your movie's trying, like, I think the problem with these DC animated movies, with some of them, not all of them, is there's a couple of them that try to do too much in like an hour and 30 minutes. Like, a lot of DC animated movies that I watch, you're doing an hour and 30-minute movie, or like at least over an hour. You can only really have like maybe one B plot and then just have one main plot. I
Mhm.
I feel like this movie's trying to do too much all at once, and then by the end of the movie, it's like, what do we do? Because now there's so many plot points that we kind of forgot about. So they either ignore it or they just wait until the last minute, which again, just comes back to the argument that, yeah, this movie either needed more time or just needed to be, or you just need to cut some of it out. And, you could have used that time to maybe further develop Aquaman as a character. Like, to me, that's kind of the biggest negative, is as much as Aquaman was great, I feel like there just wasn't enough, like, development on his end. And not to mention, I feel like the pacing at times was really weird, because every time, like, you think, oh, we're kind of growing Aquaman as a character, they cut back to the Justice League doing something, and it's like, I understand it's a Justice League movie, but to me, this movie should have been mainly focusing on Aquaman as the main character, which it does, but to me, they're trying to kind of make the Justice League and Aquaman the main characters, when it should have just been Aquaman as your main character and the Justice League as your secondary characters. That's how I think that it would have worked better if that was the case. But because, again, you could have developed, him and Mara's relationship. You could have developed him more as a character, because there's, like, one scene in the movie where, like, he's like, oh, I need to get some air. And then he's just, like, he literally, like, just moved down, and then he tells Mara, oh, now my mind's here. It's like, wait, what? You just went up there to catch some breath. Now you made up your mind? Like, there's just things that could have been better developed. So, yeah, those are really my negatives. Dylan, what are your negatives?
My negatives for this movie are, again, the plots. Just like you were saying, man, the B plots in this movie, there's so many of them. I don't mind if you have, like, a C plot that's setting up a next film or anything like that, but there's really nothing from these B plots that was, like, setting up for the next film. They literally just pay them all off at the end with, like, 2-second phrases, and that I didn't like. By the way, just another positive. I also really like Shazam. Shazam was hilarious. I really like how childish he is. But again, like, Shazam, that's another negative. It honestly feels like these characters, while they should be here for the Justice League, they shouldn't. They almost should be more like cameos. Like, this should be an Aquaman movie, and their stories just take away from Aquaman. I really feel like the movie could have used more time to, like you said, develop Aquaman as a character. I wish they did that more. Though I did find the Batman and kind of funny. Again, Batman really did nothing in this movie. It could have been a situation where, okay, you show Batman fighting those one guys. You have the joke of him coming in, and then he says, okay, I gotta go fight Scarecrow, so good luck, guys, or something like that. Like, basically make him a cameo. I would be more fine with that than basically giving him nothing to do in this movie at all. Like, yeah, and it really just comes down to that. Those are my real negatives to this film. Not to mention, again, the time frame. This is the only movie where I feel like it could have used more time, but honestly, I don't think it does need more time. I think it just needs more focus, and it's because of all these other side stories. If you get rid of those, you have more focus on Aquaman, I think it would pay off in the end.
You know what? That's actually another negative, Dylan. Thank you for bringing that up. Is what the hell does Batman really do in this movie? Like, all he does is stand around, he's being an asshole, and then literally he doesn't really partake in the final fight. He's just standing there. He leaves, only to then go up to Green Lantern and be like, so, yeah, what did you guys see? It's like, bro, like, damn, bro, like, everyone's getting their asses kicked. And then he's like, hey,
they didn't even say he went to go fight Scarecrow or something. Like, oh my god, they should. If they said that, it would pay it off just fine.
All this man did was, he's like, all right, everybody go down to Atlantis. Me and a couple of the others, we're just gonna sit up here and do nothing. We'll wait for an invasion to start.
We're gonna start playing checkers. That's what we're gonna do.
We're gonna do absolutely nothing. You guys do the hard work. I'm just gonna stand here. Like, and the only thing of merit he actually does in this movie is save Cyborg from death. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, other than that, he does absolutely nothing. He stands there and he's just like, oh, I'm the leader of this team.
They call him lead. They actually made that joke too in the movie. I can't remember what was it. Superman? Was it Superman or Shazam who said it?
I think it was. I think it was Superman, where he's like, "Who made him leader?"
Yeah, that was actually pretty funny.
He's like
Again,
Batman.
the
Literally
humor
could.
in this works. It just needed more time
Batman
to.
literally should have just said in that scene, "Yeah, by the way, I made myself leader." And then they're like, "Well, we had to have a vote." He's like, "We did vote, but I was the only vote that mattered." It's like, bro, like, damn, bro, like, why are you being such a why? Like, I know it's Batman, but like, come on, man. It's like, oh, and here's another positive. I did like the whole sequence where Batman and Superman were investigating the scientists' place, and Superman, he tells Superman, "Hey, don't go in there." And then Superman literally goes in there super quick, and then he's just like, what's this?" And then Batman's like, "My guy, what are you doing?" He just like stands there. It's like, again, I agree the character interactions were great. It's just I wish there was just more to it. Let's see here. We got Tara Strong fan. What's up? For an Aquaman origin story, I thought this movie was pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, the Aquaman stuff, the Aquaman storyline is great in the movie. It just needed more time to progress his character. Everything else takes away from it, and that's the problem we have.
Tara Strong fan's favorite character in this movie was Orm, the Ocean Master. For a villain, he was pretty interesting. Yeah, he's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Sienna, what's up? When are you gonna read the Aquaman Ocean Master fan fiction? Never. I refuse to read it. And you want to know why? Because that's just really freaking weird. Because they are stepbrothers, after all. And that's just... And, listen, incest is wrong.
Hey, they have the same mom.
That is true. So technically they are half-brothers. So,
yeah, they're
because they're related, that's flat out wrong. Now, listen. If it was a situation where they were not blood-related, it's still wrong. But when you're blood-related, it's even more wrong. There you go. That's your words of advice.
Yes.
For the night.
No, Austin is 100% right, being honest.
Star Wars Network, what are your negatives?
Okay. This movie should have just been called Aquaman.
Or Aquaman, Throne of Atlantis.
Yeah, no, that's what I was meaning by that. Because as much as I like the Justice League and their interactions, they're wasted in the movie. Like what everyone has already stated. Like, they were handled well and they had like good setup, but doesn't like they don't have enough screen time to make an impact on their stories. Like what Austin said about Wonder Woman and like Superman and all of that. Like you could really develop Wonder Woman's character in this movie very well, with her finding out who she really is. Like she's questioning that of herself. And well, yeah, there's one line at the end, and that's really it, guys. Also, to me, the villains don't really pack much of a punch. Like Black Manta doesn't really do anything in this movie. Do any of you guys agree with that?
Like, no, I agree.
Oh,
so,
I just realized they wasted Black Manta hard.
Yeah.
You know
I
what?
guess I'll add that
That
to
is
my
a negative too. Like literally Black Manta at the end's like, "Oh, I'm gonna turn on Orm and I'm gonna take over Atlantis." Like, bro, when was that ever established?
It wasn't. It wasn't. That's the thing. Like Black Manta, honestly, out of the two antagonists, I am more of a Black Manta fan than King Orm. So when they do my buddy Black Manta a little dirty, I'm there like, how dare you? You know. And I have to agree with everyone about the whole runtime thing. Like this should have been, if you're gonna make it a Justice League movie, this should have been, you should have added at least 22 more minutes onto the
That's
film.
all you need.
And also my negative is also the whole Aquaman's mother dying from like I like the idea, but I feel like it wasn't executed that well.
Yeah.
Like that's my biggest thing. Like the idea on paper is like, oh my god. Like,
It works,
you
but
know,
the runtime and just the pacing of the movie kills it.
yeah, that's my opinion as well. Like, the story's there. We just need execution, guys. Execution matters, you know, and that's really. And I have to agree. Like, going back to my Justice League point, like Batman didn't do anything in this. No one really did.
Like, at least they
Superman
can.
really didn't do anything. Like,
Well, to argue that though, at least like they went to Atlantis and confronted King Orm, so that, like they do something, but at the same time they might as well not have done anything because literally it just amounts to nothing because they get beat up really easily. And then
yeah, exactly. It's like this could have just been an Aquaman standalone movie.
Yeah, it
You-
could have. Yeah.
you could have had the Justice League in it, but don't have as many Justice League members because
Yeah, they could have been cameos and nothing more until
Yeah.
like, the end or something.
Yeah, that's why I mean, like, to me, the title is kind of like lying.
Misleading.
Yeah, yes, it's misleading. Thank you. That is the perfect term. Because it's not lying. It's Justice League is in there, but it's misleading because it tells more of an Aquaman standalone story while putting the Justice League in like the sidelines, where the Justice League, they don't do anything, and it's called Justice League, the Throne of Atlantis. So it's like, you get what I mean?
oh, I get you. And trust me,
So-
there is a movie that we will watch in a couple weeks that is completely misleading, which we'll get to that when we get to that because I got a lot of beef with that one just for the title alone. But that's just me, you know.
Those are my negatives.
Alrighty, I like it. Sienna's like, when are you gonna bring back Splash Talk? Sienna, that is a great question, and the answer to that is Tara Strongfan comes in. We know Superman is invulnerable to almost everything on Earth, but can he drown underwater without an oxygen tank? That is another great question. And the answer to that is it depends on what kind of continuity we're talking about. Gavari comes in. Honestly, I don't remember this movie, but I did watch it. Then how do you remember you watched it if you don't remember the movie?
I think he kind of remembers it. It's just he forgets some things.
True. Now I got to go back to this question. When am I going to bring it back? Sometime within the next 50 to 60 years.
Yeah, it's funny.
That's a great
Mhm.
answer.
It's funny. I'll be dead by then.
Oh, you never know. All right, guys. Let's get into our final grades and final thoughts. I will start first. I'm gonna give this movie just to be fair, because I did enjoy it overall, but I will agree this is the weakest film thus far. I'm gonna give this movie a B-. I think for an Aquaman story, it's good, and I did like the villain, but as a whole, I feel like the Justice League don't really do much, and I will say there are things, the pacing and the runtime kind of bring it down, but it's still a fun movie. Like, for the first four, this being the weakest one, I'll be fair and give it a B-. So we have an A, we have a B, B+, now a B-. So just across the board, it's still a good movie, just it's not as good as the previous other ones. Dylan, what's your final grade and final thoughts?
So my final thoughts is I just want to take a second and compare this movie to the Aquaman movie that we actually have, because I know I shouldn't compare the two of them, but Aquaman 20 what year was that?
18.
2020? Oh, 2018. Yeah, Aquaman 2018. That was my first Aquaman movie, and I really enjoyed Aquaman's story. I just feel like it was done better in that movie only because in this movie it was taken away by so much because of the Justice League. But even with that, I still really liked the Aquaman and storyline, and I can't wait to see what else he does with it in the story of I almost said the Avengers. You guys would kill me if I said what his story in the Avengers. No, the Justice League. I'm interested to see more. I really did enjoy this film, but I can't say that this was my favorite film. I enjoyed this the least out of the 4 films that we've seen in this universe so far. It is for me a low B or an 8 out of 10.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Android, what's your final grade?
My final grade would be 7 out of 10.
And what does that translate to?
C.
A C, just a solid C, probably.
All right. Well, a solid C. All right. Good enough. Good enough. Zach. Oh, wait. Hang on. Final thoughts, Ninjoid?
It was all right.
All right. Fair enough. Zach, what's your final grade and final thoughts?
My final thoughts, it's my second favorite of the ones we've seen so far. I thought Matt Lanter was awesome as Arthur Curry. I thought they told the Aquaman story pretty well, while still decently balancing in the other members of the Justice League. And the post-credit scene I remember it got me pumped to see where the rest of it was going to go, so I'm going to give it another solid A. And a 9 out of 10.
Ooh, okay. Really high. Hey, I respect that. So we got B minus, a B, a C, and an A. Okay. I like that. Nice assortment of grades. It's nice variety. We like some variety on the channel. I appreciate it. Terra Strong Fan comes in. The thing Marvel has that DC doesn't is a lot of cosmic characters. Marvel has different pantheons of Earth gods like Odin, Zeus, Vishnu, but also space gods like the Celestials. Yeah, I mean, I feel like though DC does have like Earth does have gods too, but definitely not as much as Marvel does. They do, not a lot of cosmic characters. Did any of you guys ever watch Digimon?
I did. I actually it was basically the ripoff of Pokemon to me, and I did watch some of it. I didn't watch all of it. It's decent, but it's no Pokemon.
I prefer. Shut up. I prefer Chin Pokemon.
Team Pokemon. And then Cena comes in, also fuck Damien. Now, are we talking the literal sense, or are we talking the figurative sense? Because if we're talking about the figurative sense, then I disagree. But if we're talking the literal sense, I mean, you know, hey, I mean, listen.
God,
I'm not,
of course, Austin's gotta do this.
Not gonna say no. I mean, listen, if it's a situation where, you know, me and him, we're just in a room together and I'm like, hey, Damien, show me your skills, you know, that I'd be like,
oh my God.
well, you know, you show me, man.
Zach's dying over here.
I mean, yeah, I mean, come on, I mean, he's trained by League of Assassins. I mean, he can show me some moves. I mean, he's also the son of Batman, so I mean, Batman had to show him some stuff. Like, you know, Batman's a ladies' man. I'm a ladies' man. You know, like, come on. I mean, we all get together. You know, just some interesting stuff. The figurative sense. Oh well, then I disagree on that. I don't know why I went on that tangent. Sir, Damien is a child. Someone called the FBI. Well, I mean, He's not like I'm talking. Well, no, actually, no. At the end of the series, he's not a child, so therefore, I mean, he's 18,
My God.
I think.
This stream, man. This stream.
Well,
Oh, come on. I have to laugh at this. Come on.
see, he does grow into his late teens. Thank you. Thank you. At least I see. Listen, it's not wrong. It's not wrong at all. I don't think.
To put it the way George Carlin put it, it isn't wrong, but we just don't do it.
Oh, this conversation is going way too far
That is a fair point.
for me.
Listen, he's in his late teens. It's okay. See, he's in his late teens. I mean, hey, listen, it's okay. I mean, Batman. Bruce probably did that stuff in his teens. You never know. It is Batman. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Neither do I.
Well, that was my sus moment of the day.
Dude, legit, my stomach is hurting from laughing. I'm sorry.
Cock-a-doodle-doo! The cow says moo! Cock-a-doodle-doo! The cow says moo!
Oh, dude, you might just want to mute me because I'm gonna keep laughing.
Well, we're at 52 minutes. I think we're gonna wrap this up. I used to think sharks and crocodiles really fight, but they actually do it all the time, and have been at it for millions of years, according to a documentary I watched. Well, that is pretty interesting. Crocodiles and sharks. That'd actually be a pretty fun, like really cheesy, made for home movie of a shark and a crocodile. They just fight, and then it's like a really corny, cheesy movie like Sharknado. Come on, that'd be some sick. That'd be sick. Yeah. So I don't know where to. Well, shit happens. I think we've gone on long enough. I think we should just end the stream. I want to go around the panel. Thank everybody for coming in. I want to thank Tara Strong Fan, Sienna, Kavari, Bone, Tim. They all came in. Sienna's like, bring back Splash Talk. I have an Optimus Megatron fan fiction at the ready. Well, Splash Talk's not going to be coming back until the year 2099. So I mean, if you just, yeah. So, Dylan, where can they find you at?
Okay, let me see if I can actually do this without cracking up. You guys can find me at Anime Talk, where it's just a podcast where I gather some friends, talk about anime. I'm going live for the first time on the 24th, which is Tuesday. That's like in a week and a half. Come join us. Come subscribe. Thanks for having me on, Austin. I'm gonna go in.
All right, fair enough. Ninja, where can they find you at?
You guys can personally find me on Star Wars Network, where we are going to have Galactic Chat every single Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We review the Bad Batch as well as cover the Star Wars news, which last week we had some juicy Star Wars news as well as a great episode of the Bad Batch. So guys, if you have not listened to last week's podcast and smash the like button, please go check that out. We were great, honestly. Guys, also there's going to be some videos coming out within this week. My Andor reviews are going to be popping out as well as some reviews of things. So guys, go check that out. And you can find me on the Bad Batch Roundtable and tomorrow, as well as other places like Austin's for the DC animated universe reviews and more. And thank you, Austin, for having me on.
No problem. Zach, where can they find you at?
How'd you know it was me?
I just, well, I mean, I just took a guess. Also, your name's displayed at the bottom, so I mean...
Damn it! I'm just kidding. You can find me on my channel, Zach Axiola, where we will be, over the next couple months, reviewing all of the Scream movies, leading up to the release of Scream 6 in March. On the 28th, we will be covering Scream 2. So look forward to that and get hype.
I'm looking forward to that movie. I will also be on that review, as well as Austin and in George's chat. So
Awesome. And you guys can find me on my channel, The Austinator, where I do a bunch of stuff. I do stuff like the DC animated movie reviews on Wednesdays, Saturdays. You can find me on Sundays for the Bad Batch Roundtable, the Hangout on Wednesdays on Guy Scar's channel. You can find me on Galactic Chat on Thursdays. Just find me on Zach's channel every 2 weeks for the Scream reviews. I'm everywhere. Just find me everywhere. I just want to thank again everybody in the chat. We will be back on Wednesday talking Batman versus Robin. Hopefully not as chaotic as this. I hope not. And I just want to clarify, okay, Damien's a cool guy. It was all for jokes. Damien is of age at the end, so therefore they're jokes. They're jokes.
you're just digging yourself deeper, man.
You're right. I'm digging myself deeper.
And if Dylan ever mentions Mermaid Man again,
Mermaid Man.
I kind of need to. I need a Mermaid Man clip now.
You do, dude.
do you like scary movies? What's your favorite scary movie?
Scream, actually.
Star Wars Network.
Good choice, both of them. That is all.
Anyway, guys, this is the Austinator signing out. Let's hope that this doesn't get let's just hope that next one's not as bad. All right. Later, guys.
See y'all next time, motherfuckers.
Your Highness, I'm sure it's not that noticeable.
All right.